Hey everybody, Vanessa here, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and today I'm going to show you how to build a delicious fish taco salad bowl. Now remember, building balanced bowls is all about eating real food and trying to follow the simple formula of including fiber, protein, fat, and loads of color into each and every one of your meals. This is what's going to give you that winning combination of sustained energy, fullness, and satisfaction. Here's what you need for today's recipe. We're going to need some cod, some garlic cloves, some lime juice, some cumin, smoked paprika, avocado, Greek yogurt, shredded cabbage, and some crunchy tortilla chips. We're also going to need some cherry tomatoes, some diced red onion, some fresh cilantro, and a jalapeno pepper. So we're going to get started with our fish. Now I've got 1 pound of Atlantic cod here, but for this type of recipe you can use any type of flaky white fish that you have on hand. So in a food processor fitted with a steel blade, we're going to make a nice little mixture that's really gonna load this fish full of flavor. So I'm gonna start with 2 garlic cloves, some lime juice, freshly squeezed, please. It's not the same as the one that you would buy that's already pre-done. I've got some cumin and some smoked paprika. The smoked paprika really gives it a nice flavor if you can get your hands on it. A nice pinch of salt and some olive oil. So I'm going to add this in here, just about a tablespoon. This is not a very, very liquidy marinade. We're just looking for something to coat our fish. And blend it together. I'm just going to scrape it down the sides a little bit, and I'm going to give it another little go. All right, it's nice and smooth. So very simply, we're just going to pour this right over the fish. Now it's quite thick, and that's fine, because we really want to get as much flavor in here as possible. All right, and now you've got to get a little messy. So I'm going to roll up my sleeves and really rub this all over the fish. Now we sometimes get scared about using fish, get intimidated. It's something that people don't tend to cook very often. So using it in this type of way, in a fun way, a little bit whimsical, and doing a fish taco salad can really make it a fun alternative. And the great thing about this recipe is that it's really good cold the next day. And so a lot of my clients, I know, they rarely bring fish into work the next day because they just don't want to reheat it. But this is a really great option. All right, so my fish is well coated, so I'm going to lay this on a baking sheet like so. I've got it in 4 pieces just because it's a little bit easier since this makes about 4 servings. I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to put this into the oven. It's at 400 degrees. Now we want to cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes. You'll know your fish is done when it flakes off really easily with a fork and it is opaque in the center. So while our fish is cooking, we're going to get started on 2 other components that we're going to need for building our fish taco salad bowls. The first thing we're going to start doing is we're going to make an avocado dressing. So this is sort of a take on guacamole, but we're going to be using it as a dressing for our salad. So I'm just slicing my avocado through like so. I'm going to remove the pit. And I'm going to just scoop the flesh right into the food processor. All right, that's 1 and 2. All right, so my avocado is in the food processor. I'm gonna go ahead and add the juice of 1 lime. Just gonna roll it down first because these little guys are not the easiest to squeeze. So, some lime juice in there. Next up, we're going to add a little bit of yogurt, some olive oil, and that's pretty much it. Super, super simple dressing. I'm gonna add a quick pinch of salt because it's really important to always season every step of the way when you're cooking to make sure everything is full of flavor. I'm gonna just let this up. Almost there. All right, so what you're left with is a super, super creamy dressing. So I'm gonna put this into a bowl like so. All right, put this aside. And now we're going to get started on a quick little salsa. So this is really, really simple too. So I'm just gonna move this aside here. All right, so for our salsa, here's what you're going to need. So we've got some cherry tomatoes. You can use full tomatoes and chop these up. I've got, at this time of year, I find that regular tomatoes are not the best. These cherry tomatoes that we can buy locally are super sweet and really delicious. So just have these up. We're also going to add some diced onion. And I've got some fresh cilantro here that I'm just gonna rough chop a little bit. Add this, and now this is totally up to you. I've got a jalapeno pepper here, so I'm gonna add the whole one. You wanna you could go with half if you'd like. You can omit it altogether. I'm gonna remove the seeds, the center part, and I'm just gonna dice this up really, really finely. And the really important thing when you're handling hot peppers is to be very careful to wash your hands quickly afterwards and not get stuck rubbing your eyes, because I promise you, you will regret it. And there you have it. So super quick salsa, that's done. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to this. Nice and fresh, super simple. Again, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. I'm gonna toss this up and we're gonna check on our fish. All right, so our fish is pretty perfect. Take a look at it here. It's still really nice and moist. I'm just gonna let it cool down a little bit as we do the best part of this episode. We're building our balanced bowl. So I've got my bowl here. This is what we're going to do. I'm gonna start with some shredded cabbage. I've got some purple cabbage, I love the color. So I'm gonna start with this in the bottom of our bowl, like so. Now you can prep all of these elements, lay them out on the dinner table, and everybody really does just build their own salad, taco salad bowl, and have fun with it. So I'm just gonna make my own little serving here. Then I'm gonna go ahead with my creamy avocado dressing. I'm gonna add some of this over the top, this. I'm gonna give it a quick toss just to coat it nicely. And I'm definitely gonna add a little bit more at the end over my fish because it's that delicious. All right, so cabbage is done, avocado dressing is done. Now I'm going to break up my fish into pieces, and I'm going to add my fish to my bowl, like so. Now we've baked this, but with the weather outside, you could probably start grilling this and you could really prepare it any which way that you'd like. But having it in the oven is really quick fix too. Next up, our simple salsa with cherry tomatoes, cilantro, a bit of onion, and prefer some crunch and some texture, there's a really great place in Montreal that makes corn tortillas fresh every single day. So what I usually do is I buy a pack and I just break them up into little pieces and I pop them in the oven, and then you're left with these crunchy little corn chips like this. Now you can do the same thing and just use regular pita bread or tortillas and roll them up and slice them thinly. I'll detail how you can do that on the blog, so at motivenutrition.com, but I'm just gonna crumble some of these like so, right over the top. And I mean, it's really all of the elements of a typical fish taco, but flipped on its head. And that's it. Like I said, I like my little avocado dressing. I'm gonna add a little bit more over the top. And there you have it. A beautiful fish taco salad bowl. Simple, delicious, balanced, nourishing. You're going to love this recipe. Please, if you do give it a try, you'll find the full recipe at motivenutrition.com. Let me know, share it with your friends. You can hashtag balanced bowls either on Instagram or on Facebook to show me your own picture. And if you want more information and want to build your own balanced bowls at home, when you go to the website and you join the mailing list, you'll receive a really great free guide on how to do so at home. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.